Hello, lovely people, and thank you for joining me again on this Ultimate Street Football podcast. We are going to be continuing in our deep dive into street football culture from all walks of life around the globe with today's special guest, all the way from the north of Norway, and probably, well, not probably at all, it's been brandished enough, I think it's fair to say, the greatest of all time, the GOAT of freestyle football, which we'll explain why, Mr. Erlend Fagerli. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you a lot for having me. It's
Erlend,
actually in the middle of Norway I come from, not the
well, okay.
north.
Everything's up north for me anyway, so it's all kind
Yeah,
of fair enough. No, we'll look at that. You can explain exactly where you are from. No, honestly, it's a pleasure. I've known you for so many years, and to be able to watch at least and witness the journey that you've taken has been for me super inspirational, and I know for the community super inspirational. But I still don't think that everybody knows the real you. I think that people see the stage you, and I want to
yeah.
dig into that a little. Yeah.
Maybe
So,
the first,
well,
yeah, maybe
let's
the
let's start
first.
with that if that's okay, and maybe just from your own perspective, as I've already got your geography wrong. Um, could you tell our listeners, the world out there, a bit about Ireland, who you are, where you grew up, and how you started initially in freestyle football?
Yeah, so my name is Alan. I am 28 years old. I come from a village 1 hour south of Trondheim, and I've grown up there together with my family. We were three brothers. The oldest one is like 7 years older than me, and the other is 3 years older. And when I was 11 and Brynjar was 14 years, we discovered freestyle. And it was quite a distance to the nearest neighbor, so we wanted to find a new hobby. And we were already very interested in football, and we both knew how to do around the world and Nextdoll. But then we discovered a video by Tosani, which really inspired us to try more ourselves and discovered that there was like a really big thing, at least starting to become big. And we just started freestyling. We made some videos ourselves. We got like really hooked on freestyle. So the first few years it was just purely passion driven. We just love to train a lot.
Amazing, amazing. Is there something in the water in Norway, just before we go further on you, but there's always been a steady flow of just incredibly high tier talent, right, over the years, from Azun, Tobias, and many, many more. Is it something about the country, or how you find these freestyle videos like Tuzani in the first place? It's quite amazing for me.
Yeah, I think it's a bit uh, not say random, but in freestyle is an individual sport, so it's a bit about which countries there are really good freestylers popping up. And Norway has had, as you say, a really good history with Asun winning in 2010, Tobias coming second many times, winning lower competitions, and me and Brynjar. Um, I guess Norway has really good economy and uh, health standards. Uh, most are, I think, we are quite high in like happiness
Yeah.
compared to other countries. So I think if we have like talent for it, we have maybe the opportunity to pursue it more than others. Because free in freestyle now you can't live from it only by competition. So you have to have some sort of backup, either from social media or having shows or doing other jobs. And in Norway, I think it's really not that hard to find something to make money from and still put in the work freestyle wise.
Fair enough. No, that's really interesting actually, because lots of the sport talk about the need for the community to come together. The meetups and the training is really important. Um, but I guess similarly, if you don't have that and you're living more remotely without the a big population around you, it's essentially about having the family support, which I know has been a massive part of you, like seeing not just your brother everywhere you go. And I love some of the stories that you'll, I'm sure, tell about that. But your family, your
Yeah,
parents, they've been almost present at every major event at least, and that's got to be a lot, right? So everyone needs a support
yeah, yeah,
system
yeah.
around them. Yeah,
It's very important. But also with the years, we've been uh, in contact with many different freestylers, also from other countries. So it's just grown with contact as well. So
yeah,
it's really nice.
awesome. Okay, let's think back to the first moments that it really clicked, because obviously, like you said, you had a base skill level and an interest and an intrigue in the skills. When was the first competition then that you put yourself forward to, and how did that feel? Can you remember the emotions and the nerves? I guess what was that like, and where was it, and what made you say, "I need to get on that stage"?
Yeah, the first competition we entered was in 2009. It was in Oslo. It was 2 months after we started, so not that long, or 2, 3 months. And we were so incredibly hyped. It was hard to sleep the night before, if we even slept at all. And it was actually a bit above 20 freestylers coming there, and also from other countries. Uh, I remember the first time coming to the meeting and seeing some of the freestylers, and it was so strange to see it live because I could do some tricks myself, but not nearly as good as the best there. And it was so strange, but so amazing. And I just got even more pumped, of course. And I was happy with my performance as well, even though it wasn't like extremely good, of course. But I enjoyed being on stage, and
Yeah.
yeah, wanted to continue.
Nice, nice. Because people, struggle to understand, I guess, how this came to be. So you discovered the community through forums, or through what channels were you using to connect with other freestylers and understand that there was a competition coming?
Yeah, one was YouTube,
Yeah,
but also Facebook, and uh, quite early it was the Beyond Football community, which
forum.
is
Yeah,
like a website or a forum, and we were a bit active there, and that was just a forum where all freestylers were commenting on different videos, giving feedback, and you could really feel that it was one community. It was like a platform designed for freestylers. So that was a very nice
nice, nice,
thing.
nice. And hopefully the new Discord server scenario might be something that could rekindle a bit of that. You
Yeah,
never know. Let's see where that leads.
that's true.
Um, Perfect. Okay, so now let's go back. I used the title at the very beginning, so the GOAT title. How does that make you feel, first of all? And can you describe your success now in the sport? So just to back that up, I don't want to get it wrong. So number of world titles. I know there's been some world record attempts in there as well, and everything. So yeah, just map out what you've achieved, and how it feels like. What's it been like to be a freestyler at the highest level, traveling the world?
um, Over the years, it's been, of course, very uh, amazing to compete and be a part of everything. But it's a different feeling looking back than being in the middle of it. So right now, okay, I can first, I guess, say my accomplishments. Of course, there are some Norwegian and European championship victories as well, but to
Just a few.
say
Just a
the
couple.
yeah, just a couple. And we have world championships. So in freestyle, there's usually been two per year, not every year, but usually. And then we're talking about, or I'm talking about the main category battles, and
Yeah,
I have won in total 10 times. So
incredible.
yeah, 3 years I won both the world championships, and the other 4 years I either won one out of two or the one that was a world championship. And
Very
if you count all my world championship titles, because there are different categories as well. For example, double routine, which I participated with together with Brynjar, and show flow and challenge. Then I have in total 21 gold in world championship and some bronze.
Wow, and so to bring everyone up to speed, there came a point where reality, life kicks in as well, and you're only 28, as you said at the very start of this. So you're currently 28 years old, but you've
Yeah.
achieved all of that, and there came a point, of course, where you're like, okay, what's next? I guess, and I guess every athlete goes through that in different ways as well. But achieving what you have. Um, what was that feeling like? Like, how did you always know that this was going to be a relatively short period of time, and then go and get a real job, or was this something that just kind of landed in your face of like, ooh, what's next?
Well, actually, both me and Brynjar had sort of the same mentality towards freestyle. We really enjoyed the competition side, so we wanted to optimize our training and preparations to do as well as possible there. And on the side, we studied, sometimes part time for me at least. And so, because as I said, if you wanted to live from freestyle, you would have to put in more effort into show business and promote yourself, which we also did to a certain degree. But at least for me, I didn't wanna live from it for the rest of my life, and I felt like if I would have that aim, it would impact negatively my competition aspect.
Hmm.
So I knew that at some point I would stop competing and then start a, let's say, a normal job. And the question was like, when should I stop? Because I wanted to see how good I could become, like to see my potential, and also I wanted to have the drive and wanting to keep pushing, because if I'm gonna uh, compete in freestyle, I wanna do it like 100%. I don't wanna just at least now when I've won so much, I don't wanna just compete for fun and be like 70% of my best.
Yeah,
It feels a bit unnecessary. So it was, at least for me, either all in, or I could go to the other job, which I also really enjoy. So
yeah.
yeah, the decision came in 2033, 2 years ago, and it was impacted, of course, by Brynjar. He stopped the year before, so that last season of mine, he did not pursue freestyle, but I still had two training partners in Trondheim who I trained a lot with,
Nice.
which was very valuable. And I guess like maybe the drive for me the last 1 to 2 years wasn't as strong as before, because I've achieved almost everything, and but I still improved, like on some aspects, not everything, but I still got better. So I wanted to keep going a bit more. But and yeah, I don't know. Is it okay? You follow my my talking now?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I'm
Yeah,
like, there's so much, so much to think,
yeah,
really good points you're touching on. Yeah, carry on for now. Yeah, keep going.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So the decision not to keep going all in, it was over a few months. It was a hard decision,
Mm,
um, but I really felt it was the right one. I uh, just to point it out, I was also studying medical studies to become a doctor, which I now am. But combining that also with going all in was at times quite hard, where the most difficult part is to keep like the balance in life
yeah,
between resting, training, studying, and also having time for different stuff like being with family, friends,
yeah,
uh, just other hobbies.
exactly. Yeah.
Which honestly, yeah, it wasn't that much room for it when I had to train twice a day usually. So
Yeah, a few
yeah,
things suffer.
yeah. So naturally, but over the years, I always wanted that because whatever you do in life, you have to sacrifice something. And if I would sacrifice uh, not going all in, I would have missed so many experiences. So
Yeah, amazing.
not going all in and sacrificing other things, meaning I would sacrifice what it gave me.
I
But yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah. But in the end, uh, I really didn't uh, have the drive enough to keep going more than that last year, and I actually got also that autumn of my last season. I was sort of burned out
Mm,
between Super Bowl and my last competition in Kenya, which
yeah,
was like supposed to be my big ending
yeah,
and where I was really gonna do big. And like 2 months before, I think I really had to also just stop training for like 3 4 weeks, not train at all, only to rest and with support from my family. I also got professional help because I had actually a depressive episode where I was like really tired. I was not things that usually was really motivating for me.
yeah.
Was really hard, like heavy to do, and I didn't have the energy or lust. But with a few weeks, like 3 4 weeks, and some help, I really got better and back, and like just a few weeks of quite good training,
Yeah.
um, I actually got back to a pretty good level, I would say. Not my best, but like pretty
Enough to
good.
win
And
another
I,
world title. Enough to get your
yeah,
10th world title, let's just say.
yeah, which was like so incredible.
Yeah.
And I think that was like maybe the highlight of my career, ending that way with my parents also and some friends of them being in the crowd
Yeah.
watching after that time. It was yeah, extremely emotional after the competition,
It
and
was.
yeah,
I can
so
remember all the athlete, everyone was very emotional. So you must have been on an absolute roller coaster. If you don't mind me asking, just an observational one. So to realize to go through that yourself, to recognize the depressive elements and you need some support. Was that something you recognized yourself, or did your support system, your family, kind of point that out and say, actually, you just need to rest. Let's do something about this.
Yeah, well, I recognize it myself actually,
Okay.
but it was still quite hard to know what was the right thing to do. If I'm just supposed to like handle it myself or get help from outside. So because I have been studying medicine for, well, I used 8 years instead of 6 years on the studies so
Yeah.
that I could pursue freestyle. So of course I know what defines a depressive episode, and I know what the treatment usually is. So I know everything, but still it's hard to be in the middle of it and
Mm.
know what is the right for you. So I think it was very good to then have someone from the outside looking at you and being objective, and yeah, this is what you're gonna do now.
Mm.
So
Cool.
yeah, I think if it
A
made
balance
sense.
of both. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
that makes sense. But it's tough, right? When things happen to yourself, that you practice what you preach, right? You sometimes have to
yeah,
reflect on your own things, and yeah, definitely I can relate to that as well.
yeah.
I want to just point out before we move into some more now interactive stuff around this. For me, I just want to highlight now that you are the epitome, the best example of why freestyle is actually a sport, because obviously there's this art versus sport, and I think it's both. I think there's elements, you've got the creativity, the content side of things, especially, which is very artistic driven. But your journey, what you've just described, for me, just legitimizes the point that this is a sport in its own right, and can be and should be taken seriously for those who want to get the best out of it. And that's tough. Like, you've gone through a period where social media has boomed, and if you're not well known, then you're not a legitimate athlete in some cases.
Mm. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I just want to say well done, and thank you for everything that you've brought this sport and this culture, because it has inspired not just one or two individuals, let's say, thousands and thousands
Yeah,
of people
thanks.
around
And
the
of
globe.
course, thanks to you too as well, putting everything up and with all the amazing events and the experiences. It's so good, the evolution of freestyle the last, let's say, 10 to 15 years. I'm, as you know, mostly uh, occupied by the freestyle aspect, like the competition part, and from my side, the level has increased enormously the last years. I think like 100 freestylers now could easily win a world championship for 15 years ago. So that's really crazy to think about.
Yeah,
And yeah, as you say, like the different sport and art, I also view it's both, but mostly for me, it's a sport where art is a part of it.
mm,
Like it's that way. Me and Brynjar always had mostly the athletic viewpoint. We wanted to like deliver high level difficulty, but we also knew that being original, being a bit playful and artistic is a part of it. So we worked on both things, but focused on, because we're gonna do as well as possible in competition. So
so
for
good.
us,
Yeah,
it was mostly like it's a sport. You have to really perform under pressure. You have to have a high level of difficulty, but also include the artistic element in there to do well.
very good point. Very good point. So on that's a nice transition into the next bit then. So yeah, creativity, originality, of course, being the judging criteria focus there as well. It's really important to stand out on stage. You are well known, you and Brynjar, for the amount of original moves that you brought. And I'll tell this, if that's all right, and correct me if I'm wrong on any of it. But what I love from previous conversations, and there's documentaries about you and your journey as well, um, which highlights this, I think, is the training mindset that you have had. Um, was fueled by the support. So you and your brother, when you're together, and maybe not having him in that last year, like you said, to bounce these ideas off of was a big factor again in coming to the end. But the fact that when someone created a new move or a different transition or a different difficulty, your corresponding brother, whether it's you or Rinjar, was not allowed to even train it until you've done it live in a battle.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought that
very
was one of
important.
that sums it up for me. Like you're pushing each other, but respecting on
Yeah,
such an amazing level of originality. And this is that's the beauty of having someone to train with, right? You can really
yeah,
push one another.
but it was very necessary rule. I think both of us really wanted that rule because if not, we couldn't really train that much together. Because in freestyle, if you have a new trick and the opponent suddenly responds with the same trick, uh, he really has an edge over you because so to say it like properly, I think you said it properly too. But so if I invent a new trick, Brynjar can't do it in a competition before I have actually done it in a competition.
Yeah,
So if I then wait, let's say 2 years to do it in a competition, he still can't do it.
yeah.
So
But
yeah,
that's
but
that's not easy. But yeah, that's
yeah,
incredible. That is the ultimate value of respect and appreciation for one another, which is amazing. Okay, so on that note, my point for raising that was originality, creativity is key. There's a new generation constantly coming through in freestyle. I think you're forever will be a trend setter, let's say, or a style setter for the moves that you've created. Who at the moment are you most excited about in the freestyle world? Can you name two or
hmm,
three of the most creative thinkers, at least, or freestylers that are out there really pushing the boundary, in your opinion?
yeah. I think like the two at top always has to be mentioned because they have been pushing for many years now and still are, like Jesse and from the Netherlands and Tristan from France.
Mm-hmm.
But let's put these aside. My favorite freestyler at the moment is Igna from Argentina.
Okay.
Igna Chav. He won the Seven Stars International
Yeah.
competition, and I really love his style and attitude on the stage. He's like calm, but really high difficulty, especially in lowers, but also is bringing a lot of original and difficult stuff in all around. So Igna from Argentina, he hasn't done that well earlier, but I think he's one to look out for this year. Um, and also I think Herman from the Netherlands
Mm.
has been like really good many years. Um, but I think he can also be potentially top four this year.
Yeah.
Depends, of course, who he faces and how well he does. And also Machine from Colombia. He came second last year in Super Bowl, but
Yeah.
for me, I think he can do even better this year because, in my opinion, when it's been no time limit, I think he has used a bit too much time per round. But now, when we have 3 times 30 seconds, he's he's able to put in a lot of really difficult tricks in short amount of time. So I think time limit can suit him quite well, actually. So yeah, I
Nice.
think those three: Igna,
Yeah.
Machine, and Herman.
Love that. Thank you. We'll put some links to all of this under the video here, so please do check out these and follow their journeys as well. Um, All right, now your journey again. Let's look at where were the standout places? I'm guessing Kenya, you've already mentioned, was a momentous moment, but in terms of destinations that you've been to that have you just had the best experience, maybe because of the place that it was or the experience you had there. So less about the freestyle now, more about the locations. What
Yeah.
places come to your mind that you've been to that's just opened your mind to something amazing?
um, well, the first place that comes to mind is Bangladesh. the
Ah,
capital Dhaka. Not necessarily that it was like amazing views, but it was just a special experience. Brynjar and I was invited to perform at there was a TV channel who got the rights to show like World Cup FIFA matches.
yeah.
So they wanted us to showcase around that, and it was like a completely different country. Not that good infrastructure. A lot of big difference between uh, the hotel we were staying and like the streets. Um, but it was so many interesting things happening. We also had a show at the university, and when we drove to the university, there was 8 to 10 lifeguards in white, only for Brynjar and me, which which was we thought, wow, cool, we're worth a lot, but was
Why
also
didn't Why
in
didn't you expect
hindsight
that?
a bit,
You should have started demanding that from Lucasso and the
yeah,
team. Like you need minimum of like bodyguards everywhere you go.
uh, but yeah, kind of scary to think back that, oh, was that necessary? I guess, yeah, but that was cool. Mostly because it was just something completely different from what I'm used to here in Norway.
Hmm.
Another journey travel was Tokyo in Japan. Um, I think many mentioned that when they've been there, but I think it's for a reason. It's such a nice city. The streets are so clean. The people are incredibly nice. Strange for me culture in, for example, when you walk out of a train and the people were like so polite following a line. Like, let's say there was a line where people were following, and there was like a cross
Yeah, yeah,
or like
awesome.
a turn.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um, I was considering just walking straight across, but then I'm going past someone. So, but people were just following that line so nicely. Yeah, just to
nice,
point out,
nice.
like the culture there is so nice, and also the future looks bright there in terms of technology and culture as well.
Yeah,
So many freestylers from Japan I know, they're like really cool,
yeah.
and I've been discussing a lot with Leon from Japan.
Mhm.
We are in this judging group together. He's also really reflected and yeah, so nice people.
Yeah, I love that. That's an interesting point of word you use there as well. Because when I've talked to the Japanese culture around freestyle compared to the European, especially and South America, North America, um, the word they used was they want to be cool, not in an
Yeah,
arrogant way or anything, but their vision of freestyle is a total different mindset in the first phase at least. It's like the fashion element, the style element is really up there in originality, a lot along with the tricks, of course, and that's why I think you have
yeah,
so many diverse ways of freestyling because the mindset is that way. So,
yeah. I remember I won Super Bowl in 2019. I beat Yo from Japan in the final. It was a really good final. And but he was of course like a bit sad, I guess, that he didn't win the whole thing. But he commented on his Instagram, at least I was the only one competing in long pants.
you couldn't get more different styles actually on that stage. Yeah.
Yeah, which made him look, of course, really, really cool.
Love that. Nice. Okay, you touched upon this as well earlier in terms of having other things that you wanted to do when looking at the rest of your life and so other hobbies. So, can you describe some of them? So, what other hobbies, interests have you had through this time as well that have kept you I guess, grounded and, kept your mind focused as well. Because if you were only doing freestyle, you'd probably go insane. Um, so,
Yeah.
so I know you're a good chess player, for example, but yeah, what other things do you like to do in your spare time?
Yeah, thanks. I wouldn't say I'm a good chess player, but I like to play it. So I already played a few matches this morning.
Okay,
It's I use chess actually as like a thermometer for my brain function.
I
So
like
if say I'm losing five matches in a row, then it's well, I should rest, I guess. But sometimes I could be really in the zone and just crushing everyone, and
that.
then I know. But I guess I should use it on something more important than chess.
No, that's a good.
Which
It's a brain game, right? It's very. I think that's
yeah,
a really good measure. I like that. Yeah.
yeah, and well, I now work as a doctor at a hospital here. I just got graduated, so I'm a doctor in specialization, part one. And it's sort of a bit the same, not my mindset, but you have to think on different opportunities often. So let's say someone comes in with the chest pain, you all have to think about the most serious things first and rule those out. Let's say you have ruled that out, you still have different things it can be, and okay, let's say you explore one disease, then you have to test for this,
Hmm.
and what does that mean? Let's say in chess you have, okay, what say if I do this move, he will do this, and I can do that. So I think it sort of translates, and I think it's a good way to uh, yeah, stay activated, and I really enjoy it. So
Good.
yeah, that's that's chess and my
Yeah.
work. Other than that, I really enjoy just so many activities. I think almost all my hobbies are activity related. So running, bouldering and climbing, cycling, also fishing. I
Hmm.
really enjoyed the last year. Um, Trying to not buy at least white fish in the shopping market now. All the white fish is uh, we eat is fished by me, so
Okay.
that's something to brag about.
Yep. Very good. Nice. 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 They're living a fulfilled and sustainable life as well. There, if you're
Yeah,
feeding the economy.
yeah,
Great, thank you. Hopefully, there's some nuggets of inspiration there for people to take on. Two more questions I've got for you. Feel free to ask me anything along the way as well. But one on the fun side, right? There's a dinner party at your house, and
yeah,
you can invite five. Let's do the celebrity one. So five celebrities or well-known personalities in the world, past or present. So they could have passed. Who would you invite and why?
yeah. I saw you sent this, so I thought a bit about it like a few minutes before we were talking now. The two first I would like to invite is Sam Harris and Ricky Gervais. I'm not sure if
Yeah,
you know them,
yeah,
but
yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
Sam Harris is a neuroscientist, has a lot of podcasts, and he, he is maybe the person, if I'm gonna copy his values, I think it would be Sam Harris's
Okay.
values. And he also has, Ricky Gervais is a comedian,
Yeah.
so
I
it's
want to
always
see.
good
I
to
want to
have.
see them chat alone. I just want to see that
Yeah,
conversation.
but you can do that because they have podcasts together
Oh, so I didn't know that. Okay, that's good.
where they just talk, and Ricky is laying in his
Incredible.
bathtub, and that's a like a perfect mix because Sam Harris is so educated, and Ricky of course as well, but sort of on another way.
Yeah.
So those are two, and then I would like to have a top athlete as well, um, and a really hyped individual is Adam Ondra, a climber, like in many eyes, the best climber to this right now
Yeah.
in lead climbing at least.
Okay.
And if it will be possible, it would of course be very interesting to have Jesus there.
Yeah. You're not the first person that said that to me. No, no, no. There's
No,
lots of chats, lots of questions people have got there. Yeah.
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 So to Sam Harris is an atheist.
Yeah.
My family is Christian,
Yeah.
and it would be very interesting to, of course, to hear those, and also pop in Albert Einstein,
Why
which
not?
were Jewish, and of course scientist part. I think that would be a very very good party.
Amazing.
But I
Amazing.
think we couldn't party. We would have to just sit in a corner and talk.
Oh no, you've got to provoke the questions with the meals, with the fish that you've just caught, and bringing that out to start the
Yeah,
conversation. Um,
that's true.
I want. AI has got to be able to create that. So surely, at least there's an AI version of that round table discussion that can be done.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see. Amazing. Thank you for that.
Would you add in another celebrity?
Oh, yeah. There's so many inspirational people, aren't there, that influence us all at different walks of life. For me, Nelson Mandela would be
Yeah,
definitely one because of all sorts of, well, just life experience, but that era that he lived through and what the battling against adversity. I think, yeah, questions galore, but I just want to listen. I just want to sit back and absorb it. Um,
yeah.
yeah, and then selfishly now, my current football hero, and in the last 2 decades anyway, would have to be there. So Luka Modric, whom I named my son after.
Mm,
So
yeah,
just we have to talk football for sure at some point. But no, I'm otherwise I'll
understandable.
adopt yours. Yeah.
Nice.
Really good. Okay, so final question for me then, and Ellen, thank you so much for all of this. I hope there's so many interesting points that can be taken away by our listeners. Um, is a message really. So thinking ahead, like to freestyle in the future. I know you're never going to leave it. I see training videos still going up, so I know it's a bit of a hobby as it's become now forever. And you're still
Yeah.
judging at the WFFA competitions and helping with the judging system, etc. So, what advice would you give to people wanting to get into the sport, especially, but also just for the future of freestyle? What message or messages do you have for the future of this sport and art?
I think for the beginning, it's very good to try to get in contact with other freestylers. So to try to find optimally a training partner not that far away from where you live. If that's not possible, it is an opportunity to just talk to other freestylers or online. Of course, you can use online video chat. You can just message and record yourself, post, get feedback, and just try to be active in the community. I think that's really important in the beginning. And another thing which I'm really for is to put in the work. If you want to become like really good, put in the work, but still be playful. Uh, on some sort of sense, just being playful is positive in freestyle. I think it will help you perform under pressure, and also it's likely more fun to watch you freestyle if you like have some personal side into your freestyle as well.
Have a smile on your face, right?
Yeah,
How do you get on stage with a
smile
smile? Yeah.
smile doesn't hurt. And yeah, for the long run, if you wanna like become, let's say, as good as you can become, I think it's wise to try to set one goal that's for you seems unrealistic. Let's say in 2016 I set which for me then was unrealistic actually, to become the GOAT of freestyle, like the most winning football freestyler of all time. I just wrote it down, but yeah, who cares? It's not gonna happen.
Nice.
But it's just to like set the aim, like
Yeah.
the path. So even though you're not gonna reach it, that's like sort of the path you're gonna take. And in between there, it's to set part goals.
Yeah.
So let's say one goal could be just the next day complete a good session, and let's say for the next month do this combo, or do great in a competition or whatever. So try to set like the aim, and then part goals, which you have to work a bit to achieve, but that you most likely reach.
Beautiful. I think that's amazing, and thank you first of all for that. I hope there's lots that can be taken for our listeners. I want to emphasize again that GOAT title, because if that, I didn't know that part, by the way. So 2016, you put it down as a passing comment, so which means
Yeah,
in 8 years with COVID in the middle. So let's take out 2 years as well of real competition and preparation. So in six and a half years, you have achieved what was a pass away comment as a
yeah,
big goal to become the GOAT.
yeah. And I actually wanna emphasize that a bit more. I also tried to think not how good can I become the next year or half year, how good can I become in 5 years or 10 years with
Nice.
this level of training. So to have also the long perspective. So let's say I started going all in 2013. Let's say how good could I become in 5 years or 10 years. That's I think that's a cooler
Yeah.
approach actually.
Love it. Fantastic. Ellen, thank you so much for being here. You are a legend, and I'm privileged to be able to call you a friend. And thank you for all your wisdom that you've passed on to everyone here.
Same.
Um, to
Thanks a lot
everyone
for having
listening,
me.
all good. Anytime. There'll
Yeah,
be many more opportunities, I'm sure, as well. But to everyone listening,
no.
thank you for tuning in. I will, as I said, post plenty of links here, and please do check out Erlend's constant updates. He's still going with his training, as I said, so you can still be inspired by his talent now. But enjoy looking back at an incredible career in freestyle. All the best to you and your family, Erlend, and with your next phase of life as well. And I will see you very soon. And I'll speak to you all, lovely people, in the next Ultimate Street Football podcast. Thank you.